you sure that rope can support us?
I am 100% certain that its tensile strength is marginally greater than our combined weight. Probably.
Wait, look! Someone just came up via the lift. It must be unlocked. Watch out for Wiley. He's accounted for everything. He'll know you're coming.
We'd love to help, but not as much as we'd prefer to leave. Plan guide you.
Seer Wiley said I wasn't on his list and let me go. He must have predicted I wouldn't fight back. I don't understand. Where's the abbot? Why isn't he doing something? I don't understand. Where's the abbot? Why isn't he doing something?
Avoid it all! I told him he wasn't going to make it! Is this why Wiley's ilk spared him? Because the seer already predicted this would be his fate? Roger always said he wanted his body donated to the Order if it'd help advance the plan. But hey, body's not even cold yet! Show a little respect!
Some simpletons within it claim that all things happen for a reason. But the wise among us know
That's all
that
bluster.
occurs
We're an unpredicted variable in his equations, and he knows it.
We are that catalyst, setting into motion the future most aligned with the plan. Hold that belief in your minds. Let it strengthen your resolve, and do not hesitate. The time for ideation is concluded. Now is the time for execution. Those outside the Order, and some simpletons within it, claim that all things happen for a reason. But the wise among us know that nothing occurs without a catalyst. Today, we are that catalyst, setting into motion the future most aligned with the plan. Hold that belief in your minds. Let it strengthen your resolve, and do not hesitate. The time for ideation is concluded. Now is the time for execution. Those outside the Order and some...
Go for torpification.
Verifying it.
Check your scope, folks. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Back and scan. Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Reviving me is strategically optimal.
Moving in defilade.
Your combat proficiency is extremely marked.
Random enemies are afoot. Fire in the red, Commander. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Recharge to mayhem.
Those junction boxes look familiar. The N-ray scanner should show how they're wired.
Architect's perspiring brow, if you try to cite the fourth pillar to me one more time. Scientific advancement should not come at the cost of the grace and dignity of innocent lives. That is all I am saying. Armed conflicts are not the inevitability you are making them out to be, Anya. but rather the result of a populace failing to adhere to scientism's stoic imperative.
Oh, and I suppose we're going to pretend the second pillar doesn't exist. I must have just imagined reading Alfred Long's 75 thesis on determinism then.
Anchorites. Be warned. Any conversation with these two may prove pedantic.
Our lives are predestined, ipso facto. If there is conflict, then it was inevitable.
Actually, an outside opinion might be useful at this juncture. Our current topic is whether war is ever justified. For the sake of time, please keep your answer brief. And how do you predetermine the harm of action against the harm of inaction?
We make those estimates all the time. That's the whole reason we employ seers.
We're going in circles again. If only we had access to the materials we requested, perhaps we could settle this debate. The search for answers to life's important questions often yields powerful rewards. Who knows? Something learned here may later prove the difference between life and death.
And if that's not enough, we still have some order arms and armaments from a recent demonstration we gave. You'd be welcome to one or the other. Lack of a door, for starters.
You're currently standing outside of an anchor hold. My colleague and I have chosen to permanently enclose ourselves within this cell to lead a life of concentrated purpose. As anchorites of the Order, it is our duty to postulate on the universe's perplexities for the benefit of observers. In this way, we advance the plan through empirical knowledge. We observe periods of rest like all living creatures, but otherwise, yes. When in conversation, we welcome all to attend and learn.
We have privacy curtains. It's less trouble than you're making it out to be. Who's to say we haven't tried?
My colleague is joking. The answer to your question is simple. All anchorites undergo extensive testing before being admitted to such a calling. You might say we are compatible. Thank you. That is the intention.
I need the book Only Real Numbers, The Casualties of Appeasement by Exemplar Kwong. Second edition, not the first. That's important.
And I require Archivist Mahler's dissertation on de-escalation theory. You should be able to locate both pieces of scholarship in the scriptorium. I'd also caution against borrowing additional titles. The scribes are absolute fusspots when their work goes missing. More or less, Seer Wiley put the question to us last week. Naturally, the problem of interference versus non-interference led us to a broader discussion of war's overall necessity. Oddly, he has not returned for his solution, which is just as well since we remain divided on an answer, though I'm confident we'll get there.
Augustine? Sure. She's got a mind for provocative hypotheticals. Asked a lot more interesting questions than we normally get.
I will add it has been some time since we last saw her. Not since before the schism, in fact. Why do you ask? Augustine was obsessed with the rift. She wanted to know all the potential routes the Order might take to deal with it. We explained that the rift is an aberration of the plan's natural order, corrupting time and space and creating uncertainty. Consequently, all efforts should be made to close it.
Apologies, but gossip doesn't fall under our purview. We've secluded ourselves here to avoid such distractions, so I would thank you to exclude us from any remote drama. I'm sure I have no notion of what you're referring to.
Good for him. About time someone put theory into application.
What my colleague means is Landon Wiley is among our most gifted and dedicated seers. Whatever actions he's taken must be in service of the plan. I do hope no one's been hurt, though. I see. That is distressing to hear. But as we in the Order like to say, the plan actuates by deliberate means. Let us hope this conflict resolves itself soon. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research.
Was not so dissimilar to us. He donned his jumpsuit 1.3 pants legs at a time.
Found another one. Damn it. I knew there'd be a high probability of fighting, but I didn't think...
Hey, none of that. Remember what Wiley told us.
Document every corpse you find so we have an accurate head count later?
Well, yes, that. But also not everyone will share our vision of the plan. We gave them the option to join us. And it's not our fault they chose wrong.
Enemy spotted. Terminating unproductive activity.
Investigating hostile intelligence. distance. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Did.
Well, that's just plain wrong. Whoever wired this up should be expelled from the Order. I thought they had some self-respect.
Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for? You're in luck. I just finished my third reread of it. Chapter 47 is a real treat. When we're finished speaking, I'll put it in the collection drawer. But do take care with it, especially around the bath. We lose more good books that way. Much appreciated. We'll present our final arguments once you've returned with the research.
Torpificator at ready status. Back and scan.
Look, I know this ain't gonna get to the abbot, but I have complaints that need registering anyhow. This monastery's too big for the staff we've got, and it sure seems like the scienticians and theorists here ain't fixated on keeping neat. I might just be a novice, but at 73 years of age, I have enough self-respect that I shouldn't be picking up another body's lavation towels. Still, ain't as bad as it was in Auntie's choice. But that don't mean it's good. I just ask you folks to remember that there's more of importance out here than just your numbers.
Behavior. I'll handle this. With the unknown. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Cortex around the chronometer until we achieve ascension.
Monastery's most trusted conjecturer, Seer Wiley. To all those tossed hither and thither by war's perilous fluctuations, the Order invites you to seek stability and shelter in Matriarch's mercy. I humbly return you now to the previously scheduled program. This is Abbot Newell of Alexander Monastery.
Nowhere near as interesting as the taxidermied cross-sections displaying their internal organs I made when I was a child.
How do I stop the...
Investigating hostile intentions.
Eliminate the
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
Restore my life or avenge my death.
Information narrowing the gap.
Today is merely correctional ink, stamped onto a testable format. And who do you blame when it's why their instructor?
Well, this is quite modest. Very simple and austere. Can hardly guess who lives here. Did the abbot take a vow of resplendency?
With the primitive minds of Auntie's choice, must be prevented, whatever the cost, or humanity's ascendance will be forestalled by centuries, if not. The blood spilled today is merely ink, stamped onto a testable suit. And who do we blame? instructor, of course. Bishop Bassar has failed this order as its preeminent luminary. And without our intervention, she would make peace with the primitive Maze Ascendants will be forestalled by centuries, if not millennia. The blood spilled today is merely correctional ink, stamped onto a test of order aptitude. And whom do we blame when a student fails? Why, their instructor, of course. Bishop Bassar has failed this order as its preeminent luminary. And without our intervention, she will make peace with the primitive minds of anti-choice. This must be prevented, whatever cost, or humanity's ascendance will be destroyed by centuries, if not millennia. The blood spilled today is merely
Someone help us! The stalwart agent arrives. I need more time to finish my work, so I've prepared a choice for you. The hostages in the card press before you will die unless you intervene. If you go through the door on the right, you'll find the means to save them by solving a simple puzzle. Leave through the other door, however, and they will die, screaming in abject terror. But how could you call yourself an Earth Directorate agent if you allowed that to transpire?
As if we'd fall for their stalling tactics just to watch these poor fools die slowly and horribly, mangled like punch cards. What were we talking about again? I prefer to kill my enemies first, innocent hostages later.
Entirely depends on your priorities. My former department would say keeping on mission is of paramount importance. But I no longer think I agree.
definitely not. We should be the only ones killing hostages around here.
Like the cut of your jib. Hard way it is, then.
Praise high probability. Wiley trapped us here. He let some others go, but didn't even give us the chance to surrender.
He's lost his wits! Kept going on about his puzzle in the research wing upstairs. That must be where he hid the key to stop the press.
Hurry!
Normally I'd suggest picking the lock on that safe, but it looks to be rigged to that ridiculous puzzle up above. This must be the so-called puzzle they expect us to waste our time on. Looks like it was constructed by a child.
Enemy.
Integral precision.
So, you decided the crew needed another cutthroat, did you? I don't mean to criticize the faults in your logic, but you realize Asa is a completely inefficient killer, yes? Well, do admit I've always wanted an understudy. Someone to pass on my vast knowledge of calculated murder and mayhem. But Asa? I'm uncertain she's the right choice to inherit it. However, perhaps you see something I yet haven't, and I should keep looking. I'll need to ponder this further. Do you now? Let's hear it. Oh, I am a dedicated member of the Order. Beyond that, there's really little you or anyone need to hear about. Consider yourself lucky. You already know more about me than anyone else I've met in the last 20-odd years. Information free of context can be off-putting, confusing, dangerous even, if misjudged. I mentioned before I was part of the Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection. My role there, you may recall, was head intercessor. I was tasked to influence pivotal events, to keep the solving of the equation on track. Something occurred. I needed to step off the board a while. To put it mildly, after the incident in question, seeking refuge seemed prudent. Dorado appealed to me because it was off the board but not completely remote. There I could lie low for a time, but observe. So I'd believed. Our department was shuttered shortly after Ruth Pissar took office. To avoid undue attention, I remained in hiding. May all our travails add to the equation.
Mobilize. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Vitals are in the red, Commander. Stun weapon ready, Commander. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Testing for an ideal fire.
Suffered a target analyzed. Lay down fire.
Investigating disturbance. Approaching target coordinates.
Come back.
Restore my life or avenge my death.
Consider self-preservation a priority. I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Moving in deeply.
Standing by to stupefy.
Faulty impact variable.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. Do not refuse medical support. Thank you, dear. Sorting to 5, I have a fix on their weaknesses.
Your possibilities are limited.
Let's come back and scan.
Way to get the ball rolling.
Look, they obviously meant for this to waste our time. Let's just find a way to kill the hostages so we can move on.
Ah, see? Didn't I tell you our friend would be back?
Hurry! Disable the card press machine!
Thank the
Still say it would have saved time for us to just kill the hostages ourselves.
Concerned, mind you.
Thank you, stranger. We should be okay here for now. Go pay Wiley his just dividends. For all of us.
According to the plan.
Yeah. Wiley's plan, which almost killed us.
Hostilities are up. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. I have a fix on their weakness. Analyzed. Lay down fire. Check your scopes for combatant analysis. Target analyzed. Lay down fire. You try to limit further damage, Commander. Adversary vulnerabilities identified.
Let's not protract your subtraction.
Torpificator is charged.
Need some help first.
Check your scopes for combatant analysis.
to die.
Ratcheting up my... Combatant scanned. Have a fix on their weaknesses.
Wrist weapon primed!
Adversary vulnerabilities identified. Reporting target analyzed. Lay down fire! Vitals critical. Don't become a statistic, Commander. I have a fix on their weaknesses. Investigating hostile enemy. Go for torpification.
Oh, look! A room dedicated to the insignificance of human existence inside a temple dedicated to mathematically proving its pointlessness.
cannot believe Clemens fell for whatever half-baked argument you managed to cobble together. That imbecile. And Svoboda. I thought her more capable. You may have bested my peers, but they were never my equal anyway. And neither are you. You took so long, I was beginning to think my little puzzle actually stumped you. You seem confused. Allow me to delineate on the totality of your failure. Saving the hostages delayed you just long enough for me to complete my work. I was able to transmit not only the coordinates for the peace talks, but also the station security protocols, giving Augustine control over its automechanicals. She has everything. That's preposterous. And a transparent attempt at sowing discord between us. I haven't the time nor desire to enumerate the failings in your logic. Suffice to say, you misunderstand the basic fundamentals of my objectives. The Order has been dislocated from its ideals, becoming the opposite of all they espouse. De Vries and I are merely providing a necessary realignment.
All I hear is empty bluster from an amateur schemer whose only success so far is failing loudly at a sloppy plan. This slapdash takeover of yours is graceless and rushed and reeks of ineptitude and desperation. In my day, we did these things with considerable more efficiency and panache.
And who are you, exactly?
Marisol Delgado. Former head intercessor, Department of Preemptive Causal Redirection.
The endpoint. No. The improbability of you interrupting my plans at this singular moment beggars belief.
Our aims are so similar, I'd almost consider joining you. Had you not proven yourself such bumbling fools, dragging me into your mess. Consider how much uncertainty has been introduced into your equations. Can you have any confidence in your predictions at this point?
What in the Architect's computational summary are you on about? That hopeless, ineffectual, over-reliant waste of workspace? He wouldn't dare. But I am beyond reproach. My talent without peer. What has Joseph ever done for the Order except occupy my valuable time with useless queries? No, this is some kind of deception. It has to be. I could not have missed such obvious machinations. My math is correct. My math is always correct. How could I have failed to recognize such gaps in my predictions? I checked and triple-checked. What more could I have done? Where did I err?
Enough! Please. Your point has been sufficiently made, and I truly lack the capacity to debate you further. I've already sent Augustine everything she needs. But all our communications are on this terminal. It is yours to peruse. Though I cannot say whether the information will be useful. Obviously, my analytical acumen is not what I'd assumed. All I know is that I was never meant to stop you. Now I must send word to my allies here at the monastery to stand down and notify them of my resignation from the Order. Effective immediately. I have no more predictions to offer, now or ever.
I have grown worried. I have not received word from Archivist Clemens in some time, and I imagine you would have relayed any pertinent information by now. I fear this bodes ill. Without him, our only option is a direct assault. A risky proposition, to be sure. The last thing any of us want is for our plan to spiral out of control. And so it falls on you to seize back that control. Use the methods we discussed to take command of the monastery. When it is done, I will send further instruction. You have my trust. See that it is not misplaced. I'm much obliged for your tireless work. With this knowledge of Greater Tranquility Substation and its security codes, our plans for the peace talks can finally be spurred into motion. However, without Archivist Clemens and his explosives at our disposal, we've no choice but to proceed with our contingency plan. A direct assault. Though the codes will allow me control of the automechs on the station, we'd best accept now that more lives may be lost than previously assumed. Yet we must act unflinchingly. To fail now would mean the end of everything. I'm much obliged for your tireless... However, though the yet we must... However, though the codes... Yet we must...
We off to the peace talks then? We need your ship unless you intend to walk. To space.
What a fool I was. To believe I mattered in the plan's grand scheme.
Yeah!
Agent, over here. It seems the situation here has been resolved, but I don't see Seer Wiley. Were you able to secure his safety? What? No, that can't possibly be true. Landon would never align himself against the Order? Against a friend? You must be mistaken. Or maybe his calculations led him astray. Yes, that must be what happened. Indeed, just a small error. Were you able to speak with him? Help him recover his senses? I'm greatly relieved to hear it. Did he mention me at all? I'd rather hope that would not come to light. I gather he did not receive the revelation well. I'm sure you also think me to blame for all of this. But you have to understand my position. How ill-equipped all in the Order are for this new world. With the schism and now the war, the Order stands alone for the first time in its storied history. We have no experience with governance. Well, myself especially.
Yes, that little habit's what got you into this mess. Show some gumption. You're the senior highest-ranking scientician here. Stand in front. Command.
Quite right. No time for wallowing. From this point forward, I will lead by example. Or try to. I suppose there really is no other alternative. I won't keep you any longer. Thank you for your assistance in reclaiming the monastery. Regrettable as the business was. You are welcome to collect the experimental weapon inside the observatory, the Oracle. It was Landon's design. Only seems fitting you take it. This key will unlock the case. May all your future endeavors proceed in accordance to the plan.
I don't know what you're complaining about. We emerged totally unscathed.
I'd estimate I'm 43.11% scathed.
Then increment your bravery index. My goodness, you novices in your theatrics.
Yeah!
Have you acquired the scholarship we asked for?
Hostages went home safe. We'll see if those at the peace talks make it back fine as well. May all our endeavors yield expected results.